What's going on, guys? Figured I'd come on here tonight and, I don't know, do some campfire talk, I guess. It's not really campfire talk, but a little tiki torch. Live in an apartment, so it's the best we got. I don't know, hell, where do I start? Fuck, man. There's a lot going on. Shaved the mustache off. Started bugging me, had to get rid of it. Wife didn't like it either. I get more smooches now, which is nice. Yeah, everything going on, like, seems like there's a lot of UFO sightings and weird shit, you know, which is just kind of ironic, the timing of it, with, what's his name, coming out with Nordic Pipeline, you know, being bombed by, apparently, the United States. And I hate how they say that. I hate how they say it's the United States. Like, hear me out. It's not like all of us did it, you know. It's like this just group of very, you know, high up people that did it. I don't know, man. This whole system's bad. It's got so much corruption all over the place. You know, I've been listening to Mike talk, watching some of the interviews he's been doing. Mike the Marine, if you guys don't know, you should definitely look into him. Guy's smart. And when I say smart, I mean like he's intelligent, as in a free thinking mind, in a world where it's not okay to have a free thinking mind. I think that's stupid that we don't all think like that. To each their own, but you know, with the world, what it's coming to, it's like they don't want you to think outside the box. They want you to follow somebody, and typically it's whoever they put in front of you, which I believe that's very dangerous. If you don't question the authorities, if you don't question the power that be, how can you learn? You know, how can you decipher and discern what's okay and what's not? A lot of people are talking bad on Adam Aaron. I myself am not happy with him at all. I'm still going to say no to my votes, personally. People can hate me if they want for it. There's a massive amount of corruption in our markets, and I just, there's so much information out there to prove it, that these CEOs, there shouldn't be a single one of them that isn't joining these naked shorting movements to end this shit and get rid of it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, PFOF needs to be banned completely, 100%. Naked shorting, any kind of shorting, as far as I'm concerned. If you don't buy the stock before you sell it, or you don't locate it, you shouldn't be able to sell it, period. There should be no shorting allowed by anybody. They might as well just fucking end it and get rid of it completely. You know, so you buy and you sell, that's it. That's all you should be able to do. You shouldn't be able to just loan out all these shares, because that's, to me, that's where the real hidden problem is. You know, and I'm not a brilliant man. I'm not a smart person when it comes to like economics or, you know, understanding numbers, because my little pea brain just don't quite wrap my head around that kind of thing. But, you know, my basic mind tells me that something's very nefariously wrong there. And, you know, these companies that are loaning out shares, it's like, who's loaning them out? You know, and whoever's doing it, it's like, it's not a tiny entity. They have to be a large entity, not some small little hedge fund. Nobody like that tiny could do it, right? So we're talking like BlackRock, Vanguard type, you know, financing company being able to loan that many shares into the markets, you know, or even like a market maker like Citadel, you know, or even Virtu, you know. It's like, and that's the real thing that they should be looking into, is like, who's loaning the shares? Let's dig a little deeper. Let's just not look at who's shorting, you know, because shorts have to technically borrow. Who's loaning those shares to them? That's the information we need to find out about, you know. And like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a brilliant man, and I know there's a lot of smarter people out there than me, you know, but this is just my 2 cents. Like, I don't think that makes any sense. And the fact that they're hiding it and they won't talk about it, and like Adam Aaron, for instance, like, he won't talk about it, you know, he just completely blows people off. And to me, that's a red flag. You know, he wants the yes vote. He's screaming, you know, vote yes, and he's blaming us for them almost going bankrupt and not being able to pay off all the debt. But it's like, I mean, to me, that's a narcissistic behavior. When you blame somebody else for your problem and you make it their problem and not yours, when you're the one that created it and you're the one in charge of it. Not to bashing, but that's on him. That's on the board of directors. These guys are the ones that operate our money that goes into that company, whether it's through, you know, share offerings and selling, or, you know, people buying in and buying movies. It's up to them to handle the money. We don't do that. We don't have a look into that, you know. And what about this ape share account? You know, we've never been shown anything. You know, there's companies out here now that can do share counts and do it like legit share counts. And why it's not being done and why it keeps being pushed off, like, to me, that don't make sense. It does not make sense. And the timing of all this could not be perfect. More, or I guess more perfect. You know, it's like something big's happening on the 24th. I don't remember exactly what's happening. And then our vote on the 14th, and then the 15th is when everything goes into effect. It's just convenient that all this is being rushed before what I believe to be the worst fucking summer and spring we've ever witnessed since probably the people of 1929. I've been calling for a collapse for a while. Excuse me. You know, and before I was even in AMC, I remember talking to the boys, you know, we were sitting back throwing back beers in the Marine Corps, talking about the way the world was going. You know, it's like my great grandma from my adopted family. I remember her when I was real little. I got a weird memory. I can remember clear back to when I was like a year old. But you know, she used to have this saying, like, you know, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. And Granny was right. You know, this world is going to hell in a handbasket, and it's going in it quick. You know, personally, I'm not terrified. I just don't fear it. You know, I'm one of those people where it's like, I guess the best way to say it, I know it's going to sound weird, it's like, I just don't care if I die. It's out of my control. You know, it's like, I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to try to be a good person the best I can, and I'm going to try to walk a clean path, if you will. And it's up to whatever created all of us and all of this. That's what dictates when I go. So until then, like, I'm not going anywhere. But I'm going to stand firm in my convictions and my beliefs, right? And I believe that our movement is a part of that change that's coming. You know, and people are going to have a choice very soon. They've already been given a choice slowly, you know, with the whole COVID shot, you know, with the whole way the markets work, getting their money out of certain places. It's like people have had fair warning for, as far as I'm concerned, the last 2 years specifically, really the last 3. You know, 2008 was a warning. This is it. This is the cataclysm, in my opinion. And I just don't think a lot of people are going to be mentally prepared for it. It's going to be terrifying to some. I talked to my wife about it, probably too much. You know, she gets a little bit annoyed by it, but she understands what I'm talking about. You know, people, we ain't seen nothing yet. I think when all this shit finally comes down, like, it is going to send shockwaves through everything. We're talking shortages, more war, probably more war closer to home, violence in our homes, violence in our streets. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this whole COVID-19 was a prep. It was to weaken us, to get us weak and looking for a solution, you know, and to hurt us, right? And it's like, they're not going to give the solution just yet. They're going to hit us with all they got. And then right here at the end, after everybody's screaming uncle, and they're crying for help because they're not smart enough to take care of themselves and to band together as communities, you know, taking care of your family, having multi-generational families take care of one another. You know, some people got it right. Some people don't. You know, growing our own gardens, taking care of one another, getting off of these fucking food systems where we can fend for ourselves and our money isn't going to Walmart, Walgreens, you know, fucking Aldi's or Costco, you know, places like that. It's like our food we can produce ourselves. You know, getting a hold of local farmers, you know, banding up as communities to help take care of one another. Like, that's what it's going to come to. But they don't want you to realize that. As far as I'm concerned, they want you to be as reliant on the system as possible. So when they say, hey, here's the solution, but this is what you have to give me, everybody's just going to be like, sure, why not? They're not even going to question it. That's dangerous. You know, because in an instant, like, everything you think's your freedom, it's going to be gone. You know, it's like they're already talking about people not getting the shots in some of these countries, and it's like they're going to kick them out. You know, they're going to prosecute them. They're going to put them in prison, put them in jail. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. You're going to tell me because I'm not going to get something that's fucking that bad, possibly, you know, horribly for me, injected into my body, and I can't go to the store and buy my own food? You know, like, excuse me, but fuck you. That's all I gotta say. You know, I grew up around a bunch of bumpkin boys. It's like, You know, we've all said for years, like, if the system ever come to that, like, we'd step away. You know, we'd go live out in the woods. Like, I don't need the fancy phone, the fancy car. I don't need the internet, like TV, to make me happy. I'm a simple man. All I want is my kid to have a chance and to be happy, and my wife to be happy. You know, and her mom and dad to be taken care of. You know, that's all I care about. And it doesn't take much. You know, if we have to step away and go fishing, you know, every other day to feed ourselves, like, hey, it is what it is. You know, and until they get their shit straight, like, we'll do that. You know, but imagine if people did it by the millions. You know, all their money dries up in literally days because everything's operated on credit. You know, like, I mean, most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, when one thing goes down, it's all going down because it's on credit. These banks have fucked everybody with their fractional reserve banking, you know, being able to divvy up the dollar. I'm gonna put $1 in the bank, but they're gonna turn it into $10,000 to loan out. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense, you know. And sure, we ain't the ones that necessarily did, you know, created this problem. You know, the ones we voted into office did. And I don't think most of us even realized who we were voting into office. And that's the sad reality of it. These guys are lifers. Most of them do this shit for careers. They do it for life. You know, so they're corrupted. They're easily corrupted because they want to stay. They want to get that easy paycheck. When in all reality, it's like most of these office jobs in the government, like, it should be kind of like a lineup thing where they do a drawing, like a jury duty, random person. You know, so at least they can't have bullshit lifers that can be corrupted. At least these people that would be randomly chosen, you know, they might be people from the dumps. This might be a life changer for them to get a job like that. You think that they're gonna not going to do their best so that when they get done, they can't make the changes they desire, and they know they only got 4 years to do it? You get what I'm saying? Like, I just think it would have more variety, and you sure wouldn't have a bunch of white dudes up there. No offense to the white dudes, you know. I think a little more color would be great, personally. I think more diversity is good. You know, this whole racist thing that they throw at us, like, guys, we are all humanity. We all make up humanity. You know, they've already realized that we came from the black man. Like, it is what it is. It's not a bad thing. All right? Like, let's just accept it and move on and stop fighting about it. You know, we're supposed to be humanity. All these different colors and different places, it all makes us unique, right? Each one of us have our own path that we walk for its unique purpose. But just because somebody else's paths and unique purpose is different from mine doesn't mean that I can't find commonalities and find things that we can find in common together. And you know, we can talk about those things and be good about those things. Why should I force my way of life or my choice on somebody else? Like, that's not for me to do. You know, open discussion, open dialogue. You know, if mankind could learn one thing through this horrible fucking time that we're about to experience, is that if we just spent more time working together to build a better world, you know, it's like we could end world hunger. We could end the water problem. You know, we could take care of these countries that people are hurting because it's like they don't have access to the knowledge that we do. You know, we have so much knowledge at our fingertips. Like, I just don't get it. I view the world different than a lot of people. I feel crazy because of it, but you know what? Like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with being crazy. Because my crazy is with good intent. There's nothing evil behind it. I want to see people building each other up instead of hating each other. Just because of the color of their skin or because of whatever God they worship. It's like, it's none of your business. You know, it doesn't matter. It makes them unique. Why can't you cherish that and be happy about it? You know? These people that are intimidated by people that are gay, you know, or lesbian, like, or even in between, like, it doesn't matter. That's their preference. Why does their preference matter to you? You know, I'm sure that they have something in common. Maybe they like to go fishing too. You know, like, just because that they have a different preference than you do, it doesn't make them evil. You know, it's like, there needs to be more love in this world. You know, and like, I think it's that simple. And I think people are waking up to, you know, this evil that's in our world, and it's like they can see the infection of it everywhere, in the markets, in the schools, in the government, you know, down to the very lowest levels. It's infected even us at the bottom, you know, but it's like we're the ones that can change the quickest, you know. And it's like I just wish we would take care of each other more, care about each other's mental health more, You know, it's a sad world, and like we shouldn't be adding to it and making it worse. Sorry, I get on tangents and I just start talking real bad. But the whole thing with AMC and GameStop and some of these other stocks, and like what's going on with some of these big companies like Vanguard and BlackRock, and the moves that they've been making this week. Like, I don't understand how we can own 86 or 90% and they can buy, 28%. It's like, okay, if Adam Aaron sold them, the shares directly from the warehouse, if you will, it's like, okay, that makes sense. But how does it still limit our vote and take our vote? You know what I mean? Like, if we own the billions of shares outstanding and they do a real vote, how many votes should actually come in? See what I'm saying? Like, that's my biggest thing, is like when they do this proxy vote, in all reality, like when Ape happened, like there should have been billions of fucking votes that came in. How did it not? Right? Like, how do we not get to see that? That's one of my questions. Like, that would be what I ask Adam Aaron is, why can't we see that data? Where do you get it? Prove that, there is just that amount of votes in there is just the float. But that's never, as far as I know, been done. So that's my opinion on it. Part of my rambling on it. I know some people don't agree with me, shit, what else was I going to cover? I was going to talk about Ukraine and Russia, but I know people get a little bit hot about that, but all I'm going to say is there is no need for war. It's what's been going on in Ukraine. I'd like to say it's Ukraine's business, but in all reality, we found out that it is our business as well, because our leaders are the ones who's been involved over there in the biolabs, right? Our elites, if you will. I don't know exactly who, but it's like they have evidence. You can read about it, And even Putin said that, he don't hate the American people. He hates the oligarchs, the rich elite assholes that have been doing shit next door to him that they ain't supposed to be doing. And I don't want to be a Putin pusher and, support that lifestyle over there. But the truth is, like, I've never been to Russia. I don't know what goes on over there. All I know is what the media shows me. And even then, it's like, I know I can't trust half of it, But if he's pushing into Ukraine in order to find those biolabs and find the evidence that he's looking for, could you blame him? I wouldn't. It's like, think about it, man. Like, if Canada was, doing biolabs up there in the Great Lakes or something, right? And we found out that they were doing it, like, wouldn't that be a problem? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that only makes sense, right? You got to protect your people, and then to find out all the billions of dollars that's gone to Zelensky and some of these rich assholes over there who've just been siphoning the money, it's not even made it to the front lines. So in my opinion, what are we paying for? Right? We're just paying to establish our own proxy government. That's really what it looks like to me, and that's just my opinion. I know it's not popular, but if Biden okayed the bombing of that pipeline, like, guys, that's wrong. We shouldn't have done that. Like, and if he did, like, those who were responsible for doing it, they need to be held accountable. I'm not a Biden hater. I'm not a Trump hater. But I'm also not supporting these people in office either, because I don't vote. I don't support any of them. I can say what I want because I don't vote. I choose to not be a part of that system by not voting. But that's just me. Some people won't agree, but that's how I feel about it. And if that's what's going on over there, like, guys, there's a lot of shit that needs to be dealt with, and it looks like it's coming to light, and you really think that's not going to have a massive impact on the markets? Like, that could be rough. So, best advice I can give anybody, in my opinion, is, like, pay your debt off as soon as you can. Anything that you can, pay it off. Get all of it taken care of, because the best place you could be right now is positive or out of debt completely and be zeroed out. So, I want to leave you guys with just one thing: just take care of one another. Reach out to people, even people you don't know. Give them a kind word. Because, like, times are about to get hard, and people are going to get desperate. And when people get desperate, people do stupid shit. And if you're one of them people out there that try to help and try to do the right thing, maybe instead of them doing stupid shit or getting desperate and doing dumb things, they'll band together with somebody that they know to take care of more people. And that will spread. instead of us all being infected by this fucking poisonous greed, will instead be, you know, positive with hope and happiness, even in the hard times. You know, I don't say too much too often, but you know, us apes in the Ape Underground, you know, we're quiet lurkers, but like we see what's happening, you know, and I think a lot more of you understand what's going on, and like you see the craziness, you know. We can watch, we don't have to be a part of it, we can be the cure. And that's what I got into this movement for, was to help be the cure. You know, if we break the market because of their greed and their nefarious bullshit, it is what it is. If it breaks it, then it was broken to begin with. Many people have said that before me, you know, and I agree with them. You know, it needs fixed, and the only way it gets fixed is if we pull our bootstraps up from the bottom of us all, the bottom class of us all the way to the top. You know, we need to be loud and we need to be heard. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to talk to your neighbor about what's going on. You know, the more people that know, the better. Because when shit finally hits the fan, the more people that know, the better. Because then we'll be able to take care of one another. We can't rely on them to do it, and we sure as fuck shouldn't accept the solution that they offer. Because their solution is going to have conditions. And those conditions might be not ones that you truly want to actually take. So, that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. I wish the best for everybody. I really do. I hope we all get paid, and I hope we all have, you know, safe summer, and I hope things can get settled out and things can get worked out between what's going on up top and what's going on out there over in Ukraine and Russia. You know, because I sure as fuck don't want to see bombs get dropped. I don't want to see my boy grow up in a world of hate, in a world of war. It's just not. It's just not smart. It's stupid. We shouldn't support that. We should support truth and knowledge and understanding and wisdom, and then growing off of those things. That's what we should support. Everything else would just be noise and shouldn't be tolerated. That's just my opinion. One ape to another. Like, I love you guys and I wish you all the best, okay? Y'all stay safe out there.